Hi, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Aisha Jenkins, and I partner with people looking to become single mothers by choice. One of the common questions I get asked is, how do I even get started? What is the single mother by choice thing? All I know is that I want to become a parent. So today, I wanted to go through the different steps that are involved in the single mother by choice journey. Before I get started, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of this informative content that I have coming to you. So let's go ahead and get started. So roughly there are about 5 stages in the single mother by choice journey. The first stage is the thinking stage. The second stage is the actively trying or waiting for adoption. The third stage is pregnancy or the being matched if you're going through the adoption process. The fourth stage is the parenting stage. And then the fifth stage is the adulting stage. As I go through each of the stages, I give a little bit of a tidbit about what I would recommend doing as you're going through that stage. So let's get into it. So I've got a few notes here to keep me on track. So the thinking and planning stage of the single mother by choice journey. This is a really important stage. This is where you're acknowledging to yourself that you want to become a parent at all costs, with or without a partner. This stage should be a protected stage because you are very vulnerable. You know at this point that you're stepping outside of traditional norms. And so this is the first time where you're probably having some real heart-to-heart conversations with yourself. You're reflecting back on your life and you're deciding on how you want to move forward. During the thinking or planning stage of your single mother by choice journey, you are putting together your vision or your plan for the rest of your life. And so for me, this is a time where I would probably grab my journal, and this is a journal that I created specifically for single mothers by choice. And so I would be selfish, I'd be proactive and thinking about what I want the next stages of my life to look like. The next phase is the trying phase or the preparing phase if you're going the adoption route. This is going to be the first time that you're actively out there physically doing something to move your process forward. For me, I chose conception as my path. And so I was going to doctor's appointments. I was doing consultations with fertility clinics. I was on the web looking for resources. I was on the web looking for potential sperm donors, physically going to appointments. So when you're doing consultations and trying to find the right fertility clinic for you, so you do want to set aside some time and have a list of questions and a checklist of items that you're checking as you're progressing through this phase of the process. Now, if you're preparing for adoption, this might be creating your profile, your criteria, deciding on what adoption agency to use, what are their list of qualifications, and you're pretty much getting your documentation, getting your living situation in order because some agencies require specific living requirements like a separate room for the child or children and things of that nature. So you're actively doing things to move you forward in your single mother by choice journey. This was a time where I started to build my community. Community is going to be so important as a single person raising a child or children. So this was the phase where I was joining communities. I had the Melanated Single Mothers by Choice community on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, but there are communities out there that are going to fit your need. Find your community and start making connections. Get out there, go meet people, ask questions, and then really, really key in on who in the vast crowd of folks that exist in that community can start to be your people. And then you just start there. A variety of ways to build community. And I'll talk a lot about that in a longer video. So then I'm also building my financial plan. So I'm taking a look at my finances and I'm asking myself, how am I going to finance maternity leave? How am I going to finance actively trying, purchasing medications? How am I going to finance childcare? And so I'm thinking through all of these things and I'm looking at my finances. So this is a real solitary period. Again, you would have already identified a trusted group of people that are just going to be your sounding boards. But really, this is you getting into the nitty-gritty of your documentation to figure out how you're actively going to finance and prepare and build this future that you're envisioning. The next stage is the pregnancy stage or the adoption stage. So this is a scary, exciting time because you've gotten those 2 lines on a pregnancy test, or you've just been notified that you've been matched with a birth family. And so now it's really starting to get real. And you're going to all of your meetings, you're going to all of your appointments, and you're pretty much in this period of, pinching yourself because this is actually happening. So you're on the path to becoming a parent. This is a good time to again look at that village, look at any gaps in your village, and start putting those pieces in place. This is where you're going out and you're socializing more, because for the first couple of trimesters of a pregnancy, or while you're waiting for an adoption, you are trying to figure out who is going to be your social circle. These might be the last opportunities to be out in the world as a person without, obligations at home. And so go out and live your best life. This is a time to perhaps do a baby moon, just to kind of get those last bits and pieces out before your child arrives. Let's see. Then the next phase is the parenting phase. So you've made it onto the other side of the single mother by choice journey, and you've got a little person and you're excited. You might look a hot mess. You might have oatmeal in your hair. You might be on 3 hours of sleep. You might be guzzling water. You might still be leaking fluids just everywhere. And you're sitting there anxiously watching this baby. But rest assured, this is also another time where you could lean into your community. This is a time where you get to really choose what people get to be in your space physically, because you've got a new vulnerable infant. You're a new person now that you delivered, or now that you have welcomed a child into your home. And so now your responsibilities, your time commitments are different. You get to pick and choose who gets to be in this sacred space at this time. If you have chosen the conception path, you really want to listen to your body, because this is also referred to as the 4th trimester. You brought your baby home, and now your body is, I guess, coming down off of the hormone cocktail that you had while you were pregnant. And so listen to your body, listen to any swelling. If you have any concerns or something feels abnormal, call your OB. Also, this is a time to tap into your community. And if necessary, call that friend who's going to say, call your OB, because there are times where you're just like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to wake people up. But your community knows that you're a first-time mom. You're a new mom. You've got this little infant. Something doesn't feel right. You're feeling overwhelmed. They're expecting your call. And I have had friends where I usually put my phone on do not disturb after 10 p.m., but then I add people to, it's okay to disturb me for this person. And so if I know I have a trusted relationship and I'm that trusted person, I put you on that list. Call me anytime. Okay. And so that is the parenting phase. You are a new person. Don't compare yourself to who you were post becoming a single mother by choice. You're a new person, your expectation, your time, your resources are different. And just lean into that and just be comfortable with the way your body looks, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. You're going to be a lot of the times unsure and uncertain, and that's okay. You have community to help you through. The last phase that I want to talk about is the adulting phase. And so this is the phase that I'm currently in. My kids are starting to become more independent. They have social circles. I will soon have a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. So I'm right in a transition period. Next year, I will have a 5 and a 10-year-old. And that's where the rubber hits the road. I will be out of daycare. I will be in school. And so I will be focused. The kids will have social activities. Then I get to get back to me. What does my life now look like on this side of parenting? My kids are getting a little bit bigger. So now, how do I fit in fitness? What type of financial plans do I need to have now that I'm no longer hemorrhaging money? What amends do I need to make to my finances? How do I get out of debt? If dating is on the radar for you, then, how do you go about getting back out there onto the dating scene? what do you want your legacy to be now that you have these kids? How do you want to raise them? What do vacations look like for you? What things are important? So it's a whole slew of just different things that now that you're out of the fog of mommy brain and you're coming into your own, and it's just like, here you are. And so what does socializing look like? Now you have time to do happy hours. For me in particular, my kids are now big. And by big, I mean big enough for me to feel comfortable leaving two kids together with a babysitter. So now I can do happy hours on a regular basis. Now I can do brunches. And yeah, so I'm excited. So there you have it. Those are the 5 stages of the single mother by choice journey. And if you found any of this helpful, again, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, follow me on Instagram, leave questions in the comments. If you have questions about any of these phases, I've created an entire playlist dedicated to getting started on your single mother by choice journey. And I hope you find it helpful. All right, until next time, bye.